Hello, I am Nahian. So for my art and design class, animation studio, I started on a project called The Well, but it can also be called the Shelter Project or even the Ring Project. It's based on previous cinema, like The Ring, which is about a girl that drowns in the well. It's a ghost girl. Her mother drowns her in a well. And she comes out of the TV, but she calls people and says 7 days until she kills them. She gives them the 7 days. It's a tad bit inspired by that. It's also inspired by a music video animation about another girl being the sole survivor in society. And she has to create a whole new world on her tablet. Her dad sends her to space. Yeah. Oh, and the name The Ring. Yeah. So my animation storyline follows my birth chart because there's a lot of coincidence in my life. Maybe too many coincidences. And I see patterns everywhere, kind of. Yeah, I do. So it follows my birth chart as a key component to the storyline, but the project itself can come in numerous forms. It might even be a video game. I mainly have been working on sequence. So my project so far relies on like animation sequence in like manga or visual novel. This follows the Japanese video games. Like a lot of Japanese games did visual novel. So I'm designing visual novel style animations or videos. But I don't know, maybe this can be a virtual reality or just a video game of sorts at some point. It's just a comic book mixed in animation, mixed in visual novel. So it's very Japanese. The style that we're going to see it in is very Japanese. But a lot of people have been designing this style using AI and Blender and numerous other tools. A lot of people have been designing just animation style or even just books, like entire books just being like in animated format and people just talk over it, or they use a robot to talk over it. So it's the same style. You can just see clips of images and like a voiceover to see what the novel entails. So the storyline will include all of my planets and even include points that are not like as prominent, like DC or like Juliet, like other prominent signs, things you don't really see. I mentioned all of the houses, so yeah. So it's very Vedic. The image you see is my mind, my moon sign, Chitra moon. Chitra moon is my real moon sign from the chart. It's the moon that's about design, architect. What's special about my moon is it's in my house 12 in the Indian astrology. My moon sign is in house 12, house of loss and hidden. It's the hidden home and house of loss. So it's tad, to me, that appears isolating. So my actual mom was a tad bit lost, I'll put it that way. But I didn't really want to use real life reference. I wanted to just see if I can feel it out or feel it at home using body emotion, like food science. So much, you can only do so much with that. So I'll keep my real life events a little bit more private. My mind did at times feel like a girl that drowned in a well. So a lot of the lunar themes is about a dark room. I feel comfortable in a dark room, actually. I like dark rooms rather than nicely lit up, but not all the time, which has to do a lot with my ego, actually. So for motherly at home feel, I did notice meditative qualities and even ringing someone. So this is my moon sign, and my book will show numerous key components of my moon sign. It also entails a white cat, because my mind also felt like kind of like a male prince, a male elite prince, like a white cat. It also felt like a Japanese girl, like a ghost one, or a spoiled one, just a spoiled cat, but pure. I thought it was pure. I thought my mind was maybe too pure, even though it was like Sharpay Evans. I thought it was too pure. So I would have made as a symbol a white pearl to demonstrate my heart and mind. I would have created a white pearl. That's my perspective, is it was a white pearl. So I show this as a key theme in my book. The second key theme is my Venus sign. So I believe my entire chart, even if it's not completely real life, in the scope of my mind and the scope of my emotions and feeling, my chart is real. And if it's not real on, like, physically on earth, it's real in my heart. So I create animation because it was real in my heart. So Venus is my prominent sign in my chart. And I say the character that best demonstrates this is a very, very nonchalant side character, Vongola Primo, from the anime Hatake Hitman Reborn. Reason I say this is I feel like my Venus sign is mafia-like. It's godlike, it's mafia-like, it's supreme-like. And I think out of need of salvation, a lot of my aspects thinks about the commitment or the relationship I would have with this character. So the reason Venus is probably the most prominent in my sign is because I feel as though all of the other planets has to contemplate what relationship they will have with the Venus planet. And to contemplate this almost to me feels like a commitment, almost feels to me what type of ring, what type of wedding ring will I give to Venus? Because this is Venus. Because this man, to me, is Venus, the most outcast one. My Venus is outcast. He was the most outcast one. So this man, in my head, at least from the dreams I had, was Venus. So then the rest of the planets has to think about, what does the wedding ring look like to you, Venus? What does the wedding ring look like to Venus? That's why the storyline is about mafia, about wedding rings, about giving someone a ring. So finally, maybe at the end of the story, we say Venus is king or father or the co-creator currently, because everyone else is going to give him a ring. And that was my perspective on the planetary alignments in my birth chart. And which is the reason why this story is getting created. I wanted to fess up, know what to say, know where to go, and get my thoughts clean, and share a piece of my reality with the rest of the world.